Jeannie Francine here with you on this Monday morning. It is October 14th, a few minutes shy from the top of the 6 o'clock hour here on the East Coast. And as we come on the air, we have a lot of top stories and headlines to share with you. But we do begin with breaking news as it relates to conflict in the Middle East. Take a good look at your screen. An Israeli airstrike on a hospital courtyard in the Gaza Strip early this Monday killed at least 4 people and triggered a fire that swept through a tent camp for displaced by the war, leaving more than 24 with severe burns. All of this according to Palestinian medics. The Israeli military saying it targeted militants hiding out among civilians without providing evidence. In recent months, it has repeatedly hit crowded shelters and tent camps, alleging that Hamas fighters were using them as staging grounds for attacks. Joining us live this morning to further discuss this breaking news alert is Distinguished Lecturer of Homeland Security and Terrorism at the University of New Haven, Ken Gray. Ken, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, Janae. Glad to be with you again.
So, Ken, it seems like for a while we really didn't hear much in headlines as it relates to Hamas. A lot of eyes on Lebanon and the conflict with Hezbollah, but this further shows that the fight with Hamas is nowhere near over. We know hostages still in captivity at this hour. Also, Hamas are still trying to gain control of this area. Could you catch us up, please?
Sure. Israel may have thought it was done with Hamas and wanting to turn its attention towards Hezbollah, but Hamas is not done with Israel. And Hamas has been launching attacks out of a number of different areas in the Gaza Strip against Israel, and Israel has been retaliating for those strikes, striking out at a number of places. There were 2 different attacks today, one of which you just detailed, that is, a strike near a hospital in the town of Deir Al-Balah, in which 4 people were killed and another 50 injured as the airstrike caused a fire inside the tent city next to the hospital there, which burned a number of people, injuring 50 people. They were carried to the nearby hospitals there for treatment. There was a second strike near a school in which 20 people were killed and a number of other people injured. And this again was near a school in Nusrat. And consequently, there are still fighting going on throughout the Gaza Strip, still not at the level it had been when Israel was turning its attention towards Hamas, but Hamas is not done yet.
And Ken, there's a lot of controversy surrounding this latest strike. As we know, the strike happening in a hospital courtyard, which then triggered a fire, which then traveled to a tent camp where those displaced by the war were at. There's concern because people were told that these tent camps would be off limits as it relates to fighting, that people would be able to seek shelter because obviously their homes have been destroyed. But it further shows what you've been saying from the very beginning, that pretty much no place is safe in this Gaza Strip area because missile strikes, airstrikes, they don't have an address. They're launched and then they land where they may.
Yeah, throughout this entire conflict here in the Gaza Strip, Hamas has been successfully using the Palestinian people as shields. They've been hiding among them as the Israelis have been moving the Palestinian civilians to different locations. Hamas has been moving with them and launching their attacks from facilities within that area. And so you see things like the Al-Shifa hospital, which was being used by Hamas almost as a headquarters, drawing the attacks by the Israelis because Hamas was there. But at the same time, that was a hospital where the Palestinians were going to for treatment. So Hamas has successfully used the Palestinian people as their number 1 means of attacking Israel, has been the use of civilians as shields against the IDF.
There is some concern this morning about the tent camps and how they are operated because Israeli Defense Forces, they are alleging that the reason they are even operating near these tent camps is because they are saying Hamas is using these tent camps as an operating and attack ground. Many people were thinking that the United Nations kind of had control of these tent camps, helping with food and making sure shelter and other essential needs were given. Could you provide any context for this? Because if the UN is over this, there's concern there. But then also we've seen certain allegations as it relates to UNRWA and some of them housing Hamas members. So just a lot of questions this morning, if we're being frank.
Some of the allegations have been that UN relief workers were actually involved in the October 7th attack, and that they tend to be taking sides in this conflict going on there. I'm not talking about the entire UN group. I'm talking about a few local members there that have been recruited to assist them. The fact that they are supposed to be helping with the running of these refugee camps in various locations throughout the Gaza Strip, they are not really liaisoning between the IDF and the Palestinian people there successfully. Hamas is using some of these locations to launch their attacks from, and then hoping that the fact that they're in refugee camps or in neighborhoods will protect them against IDF retaliation. And of course, IDF has to retaliate against those areas where strikes are being launched from. It's very easy to set up a rocket in a location, fire that rocket, and then disperse it into the area. And then have IDF come in to attack the launch site, and there's not any Hamas members left, but the missile site is there among the Palestinian civilians. And so, like I said, they're using the civilian population as shields against the attacks by IDF to allow them to attack and then disperse into the area.
Yeah, and it kind of further makes you wonder if this is why many of the Israeli community are wanting more of a U.S. presence over there while this conflict is going on. Because when you have organizations that are supposed to be on the side of right and making sure people are safe and also dispersing aid that comes in as it relates to food and things like that, and then the aid comes up missing and then it's in the hands of Hamas, you kind of wonder what's really going on and if you can really trust these organizations that are supposed to be there to lend a helping hand and keep you safe.
Yeah, the same thing is true with the UNIFIL forces that are there in southern Lebanon that are supposed to be there patrolling the area and keeping fighting forces out of there. Hezbollah had moved in there and has built tunnels and facilities all throughout southern Lebanon, some of them right next to UNIFIL bases. And so the UNIFIL, which is supposed to be in there, maintaining a neutral area between Israel and Lebanon, is not doing their job. They are not providing this neutral barrier between the two countries. And so the Hezbollah has built, enormous tunnel complexes throughout the area in order to defend themselves against the potential re-attack by Israel into the area. And that's why the Israelis are moving so slowly into South Lebanon, is because Hezbollah has had 15 years or more to build these areas to defend themselves against the possible attack by Israel into this area.
Ken Gray, always a pleasure. We always appreciate your expertise and perspective on these topics as relates to international relations. Thank you so much for joining us bright and early this Monday. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.